Urjash Goetz, head of security of the Talvi spaceport and surrounding areas, was about to finish his shift. The old Midpots had had a quiet day, which was exactly how he liked it. As he was about to turn in the day's report to his replacement, an orderly came into his office. "Medical finally compiled that report you requested, boss," a lanky and rather tall Midpot said, holding a data tablet. "About time," he said. "I've been wanting to look at it since that human got here. You can wait to go over it when Goose gets here. She should be here soon." "Who should be here soon?" asked an old female Midpot as she walked into the office. She was wearing the same uniform as every other member of the Talvi security forces. A bright pair of purple pants and a bright red shirt. A blue sash was around her torso that held 3 inverted orange chevrons denoting her rank. "You, actually," Urjash replied. "Medical has finally gotten back to us." "Finally," Goose said. "They sure took their time with this one." Settling into the office, Goose and Urjash waited for the orderly to begin the report. There was a lot of data to go through between our scan, the provided medical reports and paperwork submitted. We were able to glean quite a bit. Putting the tablet on the desk, activating its holographic imaging and dimming the lights a bit, the orderly continued. "We now have been able to determine that most of her endoskeleton has been replaced. I don't know how the humans did it, but the only organic skeletal structure she has are some ribs and most of her skull. If the data provided by Selena is accurate, it's made of some kind of titanium alloy. Medical suspects her, pelvis, the large supporting bone structure, is hollow, but without a proper scan, they can only speculate." Pausing a bit to let the information sink in, he continued. "You can see how her limbs connect to her body and the support structures to handle and disperse that weight, mimicking an actual human skeleton. What this means is that she is far stronger than what she listed on her entry documents. While we suspect that her prosthetics are legal, that wouldn't matter if she builds an illegal one. Furthermore, her left lung is synthetic as well, and with its size, medical suspects it can act as a multi-agent filter of some kind. Lastly, she has a prosthetic eye, no telling what it can do, but assume the basics for such a thing at least." "Right," Urjash said, looking at the floating image. "We've already received word that she's been busy, having ordered materials and taken on a client." Goose nodded. "This is a bit troubling. You're right to keep her as a being of interest. If she lied about that, what else is she lying about?" "Agreed," Urjash said. "She's unassuming, has enhanced strength, atmosphere filtration, and enhanced vision. All traits assassins desire." Dismissing the orderly, Urjash and Goose began to converse with each other about what to do with their potential human assassin. Gobbs was thinking about what Gibson Myth had told him. This human in town was willing to do off-the-books prosthetic work for off-the-books quanny bulbs. While it seemed to be an offer that was too good to be true, he could not help but be interested in pursuing such a lucrative relationship with this human. If it turned out to be real, Gobbs could easily lose some bulbs and erase some of his personal debts with certain unsavory individuals. The temptation proved too much for Gobbs as his debts ran deep. Prone to gambling, he owed far more than supplying quality quanny bulbs, and a pittance of credits could ever hope to cover, and it would not be long until they came to settle it by taking his farm or daughter, perhaps both. With little over half a rotation until the human would meet with Gibbs, he had to plan, and quickly. Selena woke up later than she had wanted to. Still in the same clothes she fell asleep in, she went to check on her printer. Seeing that it still had more than half a job to do, she left it to it. It was going to take a long time, as she had it on its highest possible accuracy settings. Taking a quick shower, and finding some clean clothes, which she had yet to truly put away properly, she made herself breakfast. After a long time of getting her hair the way she liked, she took a taxi to a higher-end bazaar, much closer to Talvi itself. Her translator said it was called Wanderers Plaza, and was home to many shops and stalls. Due to Woklu's exceptionally long days, the plaza never went to sleep. Getting out of the hovercar, she started walking around without a destination in mind, and enjoying the sights. It did not take long before she started to smell the unmistakable scent of cooking food in the air. Having had a small breakfast, she was hungry, and wanted to try all the things. She was hoping she would find something she could actually enjoy. This close to the spaceport and orbital elevators, there are many different species here, far too many to truly keep track of. Her translator was given quite the testing, though it kept telling her that nothing was toxic. She learned that not toxic did not mean palatable, especially after tasting something she bought from a T-pose. Walking up to the store where multitudes of bottles and jars stood on display, though not much else, she saw a peculiar individual. Short like herself, maybe 5 feet tall, covered in short, coarse fur, and more torso than limbs. Dark sunglasses were over its eyes, and a random assortment of thick whiskers sprouted out next to its snout-like nose. Its hands were oddly shaped and looked like they could be used for digging. It took a moment, but she realised that she was looking at a mole person. "Oh, a human!" the clerk declared. "You're far from home, aren't you?" "Yeah, I just got moved here. What's all this?" "Typhoon cuisine, you see," he said matter-of-factly. "Our species evolved in burrows on a swamp planet. Beautiful place, really. Our Stone Age people has figured out pickling and fermentation to stop food from spoiling. By the time we reached our Bronze Age, we couldn't eat anything that wasn't fermented." "That's interesting," Selena said. "So all of this is food? Drink, too?" "Really? What do you have that's a wine?" "Looking for the good stuff, huh? I already like you," he said with a laugh, turning around and getting a short and squat, white, semi-transparent blue bottle that was hanging up. Settling it down on the counter, she saw that there were many small mushrooms floating around, neutrally buoyant. "Trapogne," he said. "Your people would call this a wine, probably. My people call it juice. It's better called, but that's a hotly debated topic." "Is it possible for me to try a sample? I can pay, I just don't know if I like it." "Sure," he said, opening up the clasp and unscrewing the lid. Pouring some into a small glass, he gave it to her, as the smell of stale gym socks hit her nose. "You smell that? That's how you know it's a good batch. I'll have to buy from them again." Selena wrinkled her nose at the smell, as she inputted the data into her translator. Nothing toxic was in it, so she held her breath and knocked the double-shot equivalent back in a single gulp. Cough, hack, wheeze. "Sweet baby Jesus, that was strong. Blech. Tastes like a whole strip club. I'll take it, and save it for a really bad day." "Oh, I'm excited to finally share something after your people gave our century eggs. So delicious, those. Anyways, let's get your bill." Selena asked. "You wouldn't have anything more fitting for a human, would you?" "Unfortunately, no. Sorry." "Oh, that's fine, thanks," she said, paying the vendor's fee. It really was not that expensive, and she ended up thinking of it as cheap liquor. The rest of her food exploration was better, in the sense that nothing else tasted that bad. Some far too oily and bland noodles from mid pots, unseasoned, though perfectly grilled, meat from some lizard people that looked like old depictions of dinosaurs but with longer arms, a whipped egg thing that reminded her of a custard from a Nimian. Lastly, she actually had ordered a proper lunch from another mid-pots, and was sitting in the defined outside area with tables and chairs. It was a wrap of some kind that was not that bad. Almost had a garlic or onion taste to the sweetened sauce used. It was not that bad, actually. She stayed at the plaza for a little while longer, and actually spent a bit of money at an appliance vendor, getting something like a refrigerator and paying for it to be delivered later in the day. With that done, she headed home.